been through so many injuries and stuff to get to this point in your career. How did you kind of mentally, forget physically as for right now, mentally get through all that to stay with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think
so as your season and your career has evolved, obviously, so has your responsibility with this team. How do you grow into that role, first of all? Like, how do you become a leader?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's something that's obviously been hard for me. I'm a more quiet, reserved guy. I've never really been a naturally vocal and, talkative person. So for me, the coaches, even Eric, when I found out he was coming back and we kind of got together, we talked about, getting out of your shell, getting out of your comfort zone and stepping into that role of a leader. And having some younger guys coming to the program, some transfers coming in, guys that are going to need your guidance, teaching them how to play, Villanova basketball, what it is to be a Villanova basketball player. And I think at this point in the year, I've really kind of just stepped into that role and tried to, every day just come with a different approach. Make sure that, I'm seen as a leader and people can look up to me and look to me for, a good example of what a Villanova basketball player is.
So you and Eric sat down and actually had a conversation before the season?
Yeah, once Eric decided to come back, me and him knowing we were kind of the only two people coming back that, kind of been in a, Villanova basketball jersey and kind of knowing what that is. We wanted to just talk and just knowing, this new landscape of college basketball is tough. You got new guys, freshmen, all trying to, fit under one culture. So me and Eric definitely wanted to just sit down face to face because we're both quiet and reserved guys. So we would make sure that we were good to step outside of our comfort zone and really step into those roles of, leaders.
Hey, Gordo.
Yes, sir. You've been through so many injuries and stuff to get to this point in your career. How did you kind of mentally, forget physically as for right now, mentally get through all that to stay with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously you have a support system. My parents, my brother, my sister, Dan, our trainer, our coaches, teammates, they really helped me ever since I had my first injury towards the end of my freshman year. That's kind of one of the first experiences of me being hurt at all. High school didn't really go through too many injuries, but when I got here, obviously back-to-back knee injuries, and it was tough. Obviously, I always wanted to be out there, especially at the time I got hurt freshman year. It was during the March Madness, during the tournament. Obviously, we made a run to the Final Four, but it was obviously fun and exciting for those guys to watch those guys. But obviously, we want to be a part of it. So for me, it was just making sure. Knowing that I had, my parents and my brothers, just behind me, to make sure, that I was just every day, getting treatment, doing rehab, doing all the right necessary things, for when it is time to come back, that I'm ready to go. Then obviously I ended up getting hurt again my sophomore year and then my junior year. So obviously that's always tough, but I think just the support system you have around you is so key to, keeping your mental stable and make sure you guys are, still pushing ahead.
Rehab is pretty lonely sometimes, right? Because it's just like you and Dan, the trainer, whoever's working with you. Did you ever get, angry at whatever the word is, disappointed? You had to be a little bit, right?
Yeah, you go through days of disappointment and anger and kind of just being annoying, I want to be doing this, but, you can't. With Dan, always, just always like to take a day-by-day process. And luckily, my knee injuries weren't, too rigorous. I could start running, pretty soon after I had the surgery. But still, there's always days that just I don't want to do this rehab again. I don't want to do, I want to see Dan again. Obviously, Dan's my guy, but sometimes, when you're spending every day with Dan, it can be tough. But Dan always just keeps me focused and, keeps me, my mental focus on the end goal.
When you finally get to this year and you feel good, is it hard to sort of, hold yourself back? I'm sure you want to go 125 miles an hour because here it is, it's my chance to finally play feeling like myself. Do you have to kind of ground yourself to keep yourself, on pace?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think coming into the summer, knowing that, I had a full summer to get prepared and get ready for the season, and then when the fall time, when the season came, I definitely wanted to hit the ground running and be like, oh, this is finally, like you said, my first season where I can be healthy and be 100%. But I think my coaches and my teammates really, stayed on me just to take it day by day. It's not, the end-all be-all of your whole career. It's not, not everything you do is going to be the last thing that you ever do, playing basketball. So just having that mindset and having the mindset the coaches kind of instilled in me, something that's helped me, to this point in the season.
I know you spend a lot of time obviously working on your game, and I know you work on it even while you're injured. How much better of a player are you sitting across from me today than you were as a freshman?
I think hugely a better player, and not even necessarily on the court. I think a lot of it's mental. I mean, I think just having experience, from a freshman to now in big-time games, in big-time Big East games, and in practice, and having older guys, and now that I'm an older guy, who helped me get to this point, and coaches, and especially Coach Wright, who helped me when I was a freshman. I think I've immensely improved from where I was freshman. I think a lot of it has to do with experience and just knowing, what the college game is like, how physical it is, and how fast it is. And I think the biggest thing for improvement is just experience.